Do you ever burp into your mic and then smell the mic?
No, that's why my name is on my mic. That way, I only get my mic
That's
and
good.
not the one that you burped into.
3, 2.
We had everything going against us.
Yeah, we were young, we were broke, we didn't know anything about business. We literally started from nothing.
We were never supposed to make it. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode number 15.
It's been a lot.
15, so going strong.
Hopefully it doesn't suck.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't suck. And the best way that you guys can let us know if it sucks or does not suck is in the comments on YouTube. So even if you listen on, podcasts or Spotify or whatever way you listen to it, please go on to YouTube and let us know if you're liking these, if you like the topics, what topics you want to hear next, all that stuff, because then we can go in the direction that helps everyone.
Yep.
Right?
I agree.
So today, let's just jump right into it, right?
Let's do it.
Today, we're talking about why we love recruiting.
Yes. Why we love recruiting. We just got back from Hawaii, and we wouldn't be there if we were not a team that does a lot of recruiting.
Right. And if you're not in our industry and you're like, what are you talking about recruiting? It's simple, just like in basketball and sports or in the medical field, recruiting, or big companies do it all the time, where you're just looking for talent. Yeah. You're looking for somebody to bring into your organization that's going to add value to you. And then, of course, you're going to train them and they're going to work with you in a common goal.
Right. So recruiting is it's an art. Mm-hmm. I think it's a skill. And honestly, I think when some people come into the business world, some of them are naturally good recruiters.
Right.
And I think some people have to learn it. And they got to kind of work on it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the most natural thing. For me, I was like just naturally, I loved recruiting from day one.
And you know why? Because when he was a kid, he was always picked last for dodgeball. So he had to get really good at recruiting his own team.
That was the first lie ever told on this podcast. I
Yeah.
kick ass in dodgeball.
He's very good at sporting activities. So.
Yes, especially volleyball. Ask my sister. My hand still hurts.
But it's a good point. It's a good point that sometimes some people are just more naturally inclined to it. Yeah. And it does really come from stuff like that. As a kid, you recruit people to, join the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts with you, play sports with you, all this stuff, right? And then some of us just never had those experiences. So now you're here and maybe you're not as comfortable with it, but we're going to talk about why we love it so much, and hopefully that can, spark that enthusiasm in you to go out there and build your own organization.
Yeah, guys, this is my favorite topic. I freaking love recruiting. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love it. One of the things that you have to understand with recruiting is it's a mentality, and everybody recruits. Everything recruits. I don't care what company you work for, you got recruited, or you're even a recruiter for the company.
Right.
Whether you work in corporate America, if you played sports, the best compliment that a high school student athlete can ever receive, and their biggest dream, is to have a college recruiter come to their game and watch their game. Whether you're in the military has recruiters. If the military stopped recruiting today, we wouldn't have a military anymore. Churches recruit. I mean, that's literally what the pastor does, is he recruits. Jesus recruited. Jesus went 12 wide. He had 12 disciples, and boom, now look at it. The biggest hierarchy on the freaking planet. So everybody freaking recruits. In our industry, everybody recruits. Real estate firms recruit. Jobs hire, careers recruit. Mm-hmm. Jobs hire, careers recruit. Everything freaking recruits. Corporate America, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these people, they have professional headhunters that they pay $250,000 a year to, recruiters to go in the world and find talent. When CEOs go from company to company, they don't get hired, they get recruited. And they usually get recruited out of another company with a better offer to go to a new company. So literally in WFG, everyone recruits. Everybody, quite possibly with the exception of yourself. And so that's why we're doing this. You need to fix that.
Good that you're here.
Yeah. But tell me why you like it. Tell me one of the reasons why you love recruiting.
Because we're here. if we weren't recruited, if we didn't, I mean, I had no aspirations to be in the financial industry. I didn't even know it was an option for me.
Right.
Because I think although I was decent, I was pretty good at math, but I wasn't in love with math. And I think whenever I thought finance, I thought, oh, you're going to be sitting there crunching numbers, and you have to be really like in love with that. And somebody gave us a shot, and let me tell you, it completely changed our lives and our relationships and our relationship with each other. And it just, I mean, I could spend hours talking about every single way that it's really changed our lives, but it gave us a shot. And really it gave, for me personally, it gave me that shot like, man, like I really want to like be somebody. I really want to do something big, but I just felt stuck in the career that I had chosen. And I kind of was at that point where you're settling, and I could feel myself settling at the time that we were introduced to, this business. And I was just like, well, I guess this is kind of the life that I'm going to be able to, that's going to be accessible to me. These are the kinds of cars that I'm going to drive. These are the kind of people I'm going to spend time with. This is what my life's going to be for the next, 40, 50, 60 years. And I had just resolved to that.
Right.
And this company completely shook that up for me.
Yeah. I agree 100% because I didn't know that life could be so much better than it was until I got recruited. And so when we say give us a shot, it's when you're poor, you don't always know you're poor. Like when you're broke, you're struggling, or your life's very average and very just mediocre and very normal. You don't know that until you have some contrast. So the day that I got recruited, and then they started talking about being broke and being middle class and people struggling paycheck to paycheck, and I was like, damn, dude, that's me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that. I did not know we were like, we knew we didn't have tons of money. We weren't, when we went to eat, we weren't going to Mastro's. Before business, we didn't even know what Mastro's was. But when you look at it, we weren't going to, when we need to get a car, we didn't go to the Mercedes dealership.
No.
Okay. But you don't realize how normal or average or mediocre your life is until you see what it could be.
Exactly.
And the day we got recruited and we started going through the process of understanding just business and money and life at a different level, I was like, oh my gosh, I am so thankful I got recruited. I was looking for this. And when people start in business, they always go, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. When the reality is you never once went on the internet and was like, this is what I'm looking for. But you got here and you realized, you might be able to relate to this. You realized that you were looking for this the whole time. You just didn't realize you were looking for this. There was a part of you that was unsatisfied. There was a part of you that knew, like Ronnie said, I could do something more, but you didn't notice. You didn't know.
Yeah. And here we are. So that alone, I feel like, is such a driving force to us because we know how it changed everything for us, and we're just excited to pay that forward and to help other people, even if it's in a small way.
So that's why, as you're listening to this, your main outcome should be, because if you're struggling with recruiting, it's probably not that you just suck at recruiting. It's that your belief and your mentality behind it's not there. And you don't understand it and you don't believe in it enough. Like, I believe in this crap so much because it's putting 40 to 50 grand a month in our bank account. And so that was not happening before I got here. So I got here, we learned a couple skills that, boom, changed the whole game for us. So if you're listening to this, what you got to listen to is the mentality of why. Why do you prospect? Why do you recruit? Why do you put a guest in the BPM? It's because of stuff like this. We're a success story. Even though we don't consider ourselves a success story, we're still a work in progress. But man, we're a product of being in the WFG environment. We're a product of mentors like Dan and Milet. We're a product of being in that environment. And you are a product of your environment, just like a child who struggles is a product of their environment, probably growing up.
Yeah.
We are a success product of a successful environment. And it's why we love it. It's number one. It gave us a shot.
Yeah, and I really believe that when you bring somebody into your office, whether they end up staying a week, they end up staying 5 years, 10 years, they're ride or die till the end. I believe that they leave or, they will end up a better person because of it.
That's so good.
Because even if all they got here was the knowledge of how to better manage their own finances, that can completely change everything for somebody. Somebody can make smarter decisions. They can set themselves up. I mean, we sit with clients sometimes and they're not, working with us on the business side or anything like that, but their lives are completely different. We're having the opportunity to see people retire and to see people be able to not have to worry about having money during their retirement.
Right.
And that's a huge deal. And on the business side, I mean, we talk so much about self-development and growing yourself and putting yourself, in an uncomfortable position so that you can grow. And those things can be applied anywhere. Now, I don't know if people can say the same if they worked for H&R Block and left after a month.
Right.
Because we genuinely pour into people and we genuinely want to see people grow, and not just like in the business sense, like, oh, hey, we want you to make money. Yeah, we want you to make money, but we want you to be a better person too.
Right.
We want you to grow. We want you to be excited about what you're doing. We want you to feel like you have purpose and you're doing something important.
Right.
And I don't know if you can get that anywhere.
Yeah, it makes the business fun.
Yeah.
It's fun because it's fun to do that stuff. It's fun to care. Mm-hmm. And when you're recruiting someone, it's because you care. A lot of times we have this mentality that, I'm recruiting them because I need to get a recruit. Like, we don't get paid to recruit, you guys.
Yeah.
We don't get paid for that. We're not one of those damn things. So it's recruiting them because you care. Like, I genuinely believe you could get more out of life. Mm-hmm. How many people are trying to tell you, like, come on, man, you deserve to make a 6-figure income or a multiple or a 7-figure? Like, how many people are telling you that every day?
Right.
No one's telling you that every day. They're telling you to be thankful for what you have, right? Which is true, but I'll be thankful for more when I have more too.
Right.
So it's rewarding. It's fun. It makes the business fun. You could build a culture.
Yeah.
You could build a family. Ronnie said it's not just that we want you to make more money. We want you to become a better person, but you will make more money as a result of becoming a better person.
Exactly.
You're not going to, you have to be someone of value to collect some value. And so being able to start in business, build a culture, build a family of your own, especially if you don't like your family.
Right.
Or you don't have one.
Right.
Or your family's amazing, but you could extend on it, and I mean, true or false, I would say all of our best friends are in the business.
Yeah, true.
And it's a blast. It's a blast. And I think about what my friends were like before business. And in a lot of cases, they sucked. And a lot of you could probably say the same thing. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I mean, I've got a lot of really, really, really good people that are around us now. And we recruited them. That's how we met them. Mm-hmm. And I think life is a lot of fun when you're around good people.
Oh, yeah. It completely changes it. And I always tell people, you have to position yourself correctly because, we're all going to have bad days. Mm-hmm. And so when you have a bad day, do you have people around you who are going to pull you up, or are they going to kind of secretly be happy that you're having a bad day?
Dude, so true.
Because this is real. This is real, right?
Yep.
Sometimes people will ask you, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Because they want to hear like what's wrong, not because they want to help you make it better. So I genuinely believe that we've created an environment, a workspace where you can come, and if you're having a bad day, people lift you up and tell you what's going good about it versus, harping on what's bad about it.
I always tell people not to tell people about your bad day. Don't post about it online because 90% of the people don't care. Mm-hmm. And then the 10% that do, they're happy you're having a bad day.
Right. And so here
you put it out there to the world.
You can completely, eliminate that.
Yeah. You find people in the business when you're recruiting, you find people that believe in you, that support you, that cheer you on in the middle of all that stuff, that will encourage you to keep going instead of, oh, I told you, man, it's hard. Like, we've talked about that kind of in other episodes, but you got to stop listening to all that nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
People, I don't care what people think because people don't think. And so I just disregard it. I disregard all that crap. I love to recruit because I get to find people that are excited about life and they have the same goals as we do.
Yeah. Imagine how, like for those of you guys who work a job, like imagine how much more fun it would be to go to work if you liked the people who you were working with.
Yeah.
And they were good energy, good people, excited about what they were doing. It'd be a totally different experience for you.
I'll tell you another reason why I love recruiting is because there are so many people in the world that are looking for an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned people going to work. Most people go to work because they have to.
Yeah,
they
you have to
make
pay
money.
the bills, right?
But does everybody who goes to work look forward to going to work?
No.
No.
I would
And
say most people don't.
most people probably don't. People are looking for a shot.
Yeah.
You will meet people when you start talking about recruiting. You'll meet people that go, man, I've been looking for this. I've been looking to do something else. 75% of people probably that you talk to are open to an opportunity, or at least they're open to a conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they want to get into a spot where they could do something better. And part of the magic of recruiting is being able to make an impact.
Yes.
To genuinely, I'll just tell you something that's cool. We've recruited a lot. We haven't recruited anywhere near where we want to, but we've recruited a lot. And of the lot that we've recruited, we've found a lot of really good people.
Some of our, like he said earlier, some of our best friends.
Yep.
And some of them
Aren't in the business anymore.
Yeah, and we still talk to them all the time, and that we're still, amazing friends with them.
Yeah.
And they're very important people in our lives, and
Yep.
we would have never met if it wasn't,
Because everyone plays a role in your story. Everyone plays a role in the people that start, the people that quit, the people that stayed, the people that quit and come back, the people that quit and come back 10 times. They all play a role in your story. Mm-hmm. And we've met so many of those people. But one of the biggest, most rewarding things is to see people's before and afters.
That's my favorite.
Exactly. Because the before and after, like on a weight loss picture, the before and after, it's that contrast. It's that change. It's that time that you can't see that's so powerful. That's the thing that makes you go, oh my gosh. And so seeing people's before and afters in the business, seeing where they started, now seeing where they're at financially, seeing where they started in the way they think, now seeing the way they think now, the way they used to dress to today, watching them walk the stage at a big event. Mm-hmm. And they're so excited and they're getting their awards and they're winning competitions and they're competing and they're freaking genuinely fired up about life. A lot of adults are not fired up about life. It's part of the reason that I think we idolize celebrities is because we see something in them that we know we have in us, but we never chased it. And I think that's part of the reason why people look up to people that are living their dreams so much. It's because they go, man, like it stirs something up in you. So seeing people like that, adults that compete and they're fighting over trophies and they're trying to win and they're freaking excited and they're doing this loud whoosh. It's like that stuff is so rewarding because I remember going through all the bullshit to get to where we're at. And so now being able to have had some success ourselves and see other people achieve it too, man, dude, it's freaking awesome.
And a lot of that competition that he's talking about, that stuff that gets you fired up, like think about it. Like when was the last time that you actually got to engage in something like that? And it was probably either elementary school or high school, and maybe if you were lucky, college or on a professional level. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the percentage of people who are actually like still being able to do that long term, I mean, it's so small. So a lot of us, it's like we're done with school, so the competition, that energy is over. And so we go to, we go watch a Lakers game, we go watch a Clippers game, and we feel that for a second,
Right.
Dodgers, the Angels, and we get to be in the crowd and cheer them on and feel that competitive edge again. But then once we leave, it's gone, but it's not like in our daily lives anymore.
And it's not yours.
And it's not ours. And we're not cheering for ourselves. We're cheering for other people that we don't really even know. And it gives you that here because you get to compete, and the competition that you're participating in makes you better, and it has personal gain for you and for the
Right.
people that you're working with. And so it's so exciting to see that. And like he said, and it just re-energizes people, and it's a complete like before and after, like you were talking about.
And you get to compete as a team, which is cool because here's why you need to help your team recruit. Because not all of them can see themselves winning individually,
Right.
but they could see themselves winning as a team. And it's your job as a leader to recruit for them so that they stand a freaking chance. Because recruiting removes I believe it removes the need for talent. Because as a team, you could win. As a team, you could become a millionaire. As a team, like you could individually become a millionaire because of a team.
Yeah.
You know, but recruiting and being team made, it's the equalizer. Recruiting is powerful because 100 average people are better than 5 or 10 really good ones.
Yeah. I mean, McDonald's started out as a little hamburger stand. Mm-hmm. And the people who were around there loved the burgers, right?
Yep.
But the world would not know McDonald's
If
as
they
it
didn't
is
recruit.
today unless they recruited and expanded all over the world. And look at how many jobs it's provided. I mean, obviously, you know, the food, that's up to you whether you like it or not, but look at how many jobs it's provided. Look at how it's changed the economy. It's just, it has such a huge effect that it's not just about like the burgers.
Yeah. And McDonald's influenced that industry. And in our business, you can become a person of influence. Mm-hmm. And if you look at today, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Is they want to be an influencer.
And have purpose.
Have a purpose. Have people look up to them.
Do something important.
Become someone who matters. You know? And you can do that when you build a team, guys. See, you find these people that want to count on you and they want you to lead them and they want you to take them to the top. It's only lonely at the top if you're the only one who can get to the top. And here, when you could recruit and you could take someone who knows nothing and you could build them some success. You could help them get some results. They could get to the top with you. You're their coach. You know, it's a pretty cool thing when people refer to you as their coach, or they refer to you as their mentor. Everybody watching this right now, you're all watching this because that's what you want. But it seems far away for a lot of you, where you go, dude, but I'm so far away from that. I don't have a team. That doesn't matter, because building a team and recruiting is part of the process. Everything you want will happen as you go through the process. So don't push it away just because you're starting at zero. Mm-hmm. Because we started at zero.
Yeah.
You remember in the beginning? With nobody.
It was just us.
Literally, I would go to the BPM. I would be you right now watching something like this going, God, someday, some freaking day, someday this is going to happen for me. I don't know when. I don't know how, but someday. And it's just selling out to doing it and saying, you know what, it's gonna take time. But how do you drop 100 pounds? 1 pound at a time.
Yep.
You don't drop 100 pounds overnight.
Nope.
Unless you paid for it.
Right.
1 pound
That's
at a time.
not an option.
And if
here.
you want to pay for it, then recruit.
Right.
But here's the deal.
Absolutely.
It's the equalizer, right? Mm-hmm. You get to have success stories.
Yeah.
You want to know why I love recruiting? Because when you recruit, the success stories are not about you anymore.
Right. You're helping other people get where they want to go.
And then they get on stage and they tell the story, and then they thank you for helping them do it. Dude, it's one of the coolest feelings in the world.
And it goes through generations because you're helping them, and which is in effect going to really help their kids and their grandkids and generation after generation after generation. And it just spreads, and they know people, and they go and sit down and help people, and it just completely like expands your reach. You're able to help so many people you'll never meet.
And some of their kids, even the kids go to the meetings.
Yeah.
And the kids go to the events, and the kids go to wealth bowls, and the kids go to Vegas. And like you have these families in business with you that are counting on you, that are raising their children in a positive, uplifting, competitive, successful self-development atmosphere. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the most powerful things ever.
Right.
You know, and we've got couples that get on stage and they cry, and they ain't never made no damn money. They ain't made $1. But they're like, God, this environment's so powerful. You know, it's bringing something out of me that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
People are pushing me to be better.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to see, and it's something that you get to see every single day as long as you decide that you're going to make it happen and push forward and do this, because you never get to that point, you know, unless you do it consistently. you go out there and you're recruiting people and you're finding the right people. You don't get to see the results of that
Right.
immediately.
Right.
And so that's why we're trying to, transfer our belief onto you, because we want you to get to that point, because it's so rewarding and it's so amazing. And, we're able to sit here and talk to you like this because of it.
And I'll tell you, towards the end of this, one of the other things that I really love about recruiting is that what we do actually matters.
Right.
It actually matters. I sat through a presentation recently where there was a recruiting presentation, and it wasn't that great. In fact, it was pretty terrible, if I'm being honest. But that's coming from someone who runs these things every day. So but I'll tell you, I was sitting there, and the whole time all I was thinking about was the difference between what we do and what this presentation was trying to recruit me to do. It's like you got to do something that you could be passionate about. You know what I mean? Something that you could it has a mission. It's not just a business plan, but a mission. There's a difference between a mission and a business plan. A business plan is just like, hey, we're going to go dry clean 100 suits this week. That's great. But what's the mission behind it? Like, mission remove stains. Like, it doesn't move anybody. It's not something to be passionate about. If you own a dry cleaning business, I apologize. But here's the deal. When I'm thinking about sitting down, putting a college fund in place for a kid, putting life insurance in place for a family, making sure someone's got long-term care, they got a will, they got this stuff in place, they're going to be able to retire someday. A text that I just recently got about a guy on the team whose dad, we moved over $500,000, and he would have lost a lot of money the last 10 days when the market dropped. Like, things like this, those are things that, like, when you go to bed at night, you're like, damn, what I'm doing makes a difference. You could be passionate about it. And then in doing so, through recruiting and building a team, you have a bigger reach. So you could do this. We could be on 150 appointments tonight at 7 p.m. Where if it was just me, I could be on one.
Yeah.
So there's two sides to this. Number one, you could make an impact in the community on a large scale. But number two, we get paid a lot of money to do it. So when you recruit and you build a team, I love it because we build a passive residual override income.
Right. Your business isn't dependent on you. You don't, somewhere down the line, you will not have to show up in order for it to still run.
Right.
Because you recruited somebody and you turned them from day one into day whatever into a leader.
Yep. Leadership pays the most.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe that this is definitely the right industry to be a leader in and to build other leaders.
Yeah. And some of us, we fight it. We're let's just be honest. A lot of us on here right now, we don't work.
Yeah. Just plain and simple.
We're lazy. Mm-hmm. We're professional students of the business, but we don't actually work. That I believe that you have a calling if you're in the business. Like, I think that our calling by God is to go. That's why we ended up here. I don't think we ended up here by accident. Is to be able to make an impact on people. And some of us, we're going to be stupid about it and we're not going to work. But I think when God puts a calling on you, he already takes into account your stupidity before that starts. And so it's going to happen for you. But some of us got to get excited about it. Like, sometimes I wish I could shove some good vibes up some people's ass because they don't freaking work. And like, they're just negative and crybabies and victims, and everywhere they go, they leave chalk lines on the floor because everything's always someone else's fault. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, no, you got to just fall in love with what we do and our mission. And that's what Ronnie and I do. And people ask all the time, what do you guys do for fun? We're like, the business is fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun to me than fun is fun.
Exactly. And for all the reasons that we just told you. And if you're thinking to yourself, okay, like, yes, but you guys have been here for a while. You've seen that. You make money. That, of course, that's why you're convicted. Well, let me tell you this. Why don't you think about why you're here? Because you're here, and obviously you want to make it work since you're listening to this or you're watching this video. So why don't you think about the reasons why you're here, the reason why you love the business, because that should be the conviction enough to get you started, to be able to go out there and to talk to people and find the right people. You just got to know why you love the business and get really, really clear on it. Why do you love being here? You obviously love being here. So why do you love it?
Yeah, it has nothing to
start
do.
with that.
It has nothing to do with IULs, annuities. That's not what this is about.
No.
At least it's not for me. We do that stuff.
And if you love that stuff and that's what you're passionate about, use that.
Yeah, we do that stuff.
100%.
But
Yeah.
but an IUL didn't change my life.
No, the business did. And
Exactly.
at the end of the day, I would not want to be anywhere else. And I can say that with 100% certainty. And I want you guys to get to the same place.
Where you're fired up about recruiting.
Yes.
By the way, it helps to do it first. It's easier to fall in love with it when you do it.
Yeah.
It's hard to love something that you haven't experienced. But what you could say, going back to what Ronnie said earlier, is that the fact that someone recruited us, our lives are better because we got recruited. Otherwise, I'd still be working. I'd be in the fire department somewhere working 40 to 70 hours a week, making 50 to 90 grand a year. And life wouldn't necessarily be terrible, it would be normal.
Yeah. It would have been okay or good, but it wouldn't have been great or amazing.
Right.
And I want amazing. So,
Whoosh. We could end on that.
yes. All
Say
right.
it again.
I want amazing.
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 We're on pursuit of amazing. All right, guys. Hey, as we finish up, I'll tell you, I know a lot of us, we listen on different platforms. Ronnie mentioned it in the beginning, and I want to remind you, okay? Yes, I know 10 things to do before and after an event is still a topic that is requested, and it's on our list. All of your topics, you need to post them on YouTube, on the YouTube comments, okay? That's really the only place that we could keep things somewhat organized, because I know a lot of you are on Stitcher and podcasts and Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube and all over the place.
Right.
So please post your topic requests on YouTube, and I promise we read them all.
Yes. And it's youtube.com/winanyway.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
You can find it in my Instagram bio. You can find it in Ronnie's Instagram bio. You can find it on Google. You can find it on YouTube. But we appreciate you.
Yes.
And we're having a lot of fun doing this. To all of you who, encouraged us in Hawaii too. A lot of you guys, we appreciate you spreading the word, because your leadership brought it up a lot in Hawaii. So let's continue to win anyway.
Yes. Love you guys.
Whoosh, we're out.
Bye.